Each new EV release boasts better batteries, a more powerful onboard computer, and other newer and better features. How a car looks and feels might be a massive factor for buyers, but there's more behind the endless add-ons.
Any technology for that matter is safety.
China's been quick to react. An updated mandatory national standard on the safety of electric vehicle batteries in China is set to take effect on July 1, 2026. The revisions include updates to thermal diffusion testing of batteries, further clarifying the temperature requirements, observation time, and vehicle testing conditions.
The risk of explosion goes down. That is the product that we have unveiled at the Auto Shanghai.
The German-headquartered filtration technology developer is attending Auto Shanghai for the first time.
Oh, there's smoke coming out.
Exactly.
And it's coming through this filter.
Exactly.
From traditional air filtration business to venting units for EV batteries.
What's behind this transition?
The company's taken a big step. And it's this transition that's brought the firm to this show in China now, where it made a global debut of its first smoke removal venting unit for EV batteries.
Where did you conduct this R&D development?
It's all in China. We invested in China for the world, not only China for China, but also in China for the world and made in China.
Hasmeet Kaur is the president of Transportation Division at MANN+HUMMEL. I met her on the second day of her first Auto Shanghai tour. In our talk, she used the word speed a lot.
They challenge us with speed. One of the things is the speed.
It's your first visit to the Shanghai Auto Show.
That's correct. This is now my second trip in this month already. I feel extremely hopeful when you look around. What excites me about the automotive industry, especially the automotive industry in China, is how far ahead and how quick the change is happening. We met with multiple OEMs, and for me it's extremely positive to see how digital technology, how electrification, how new solutions, also the designs of vehicles, the number of OEMs that are exhibiting here is increasing year on year.
To start with, Carl took me into a cockpit to show the firm's most traditional businesses.
Fragrance DIY.
Exactly. And
it's like coming out in just several seconds.
Exactly.
On average, around 1 in 5 cars on Chinese roads has one of these air quality management systems from the firm.
This is where you started, filtration.
Exactly.
Business. But we see there is venting unit for EV battery.
That's correct.
What's behind this transition?
If you think about filtration, the core principle of filtration is always separating the useful from the harmful. What it does is that it separates humidity. It generates the right amount of humidity that is required for the battery. Whenever there is a risk of an explosion and there is the battery or one of the cells or the modules is having an issue and smoke is released. So it's extremely important to release the pressure that is built in. So this unit helps you release that pressure immediately so that the risk of explosion goes down. On the other side, because that smoke that you release, it's actually harmful gases. So that's where we use our membrane filtration technology to ensure that even though we release the pressure, the smoke that is released is harmless for the people outside of the vehicle.
When did you start to work on these venting units?
One of the first EV models that were ever launched actually had our solutions in there. Our newest product, the development for this product started only in the beginning of this year.
Now it's April.
Exactly.
4 months.
Exactly. So that is also where we keep up to date with the speed of the market. We are in China. There's no telling you how fast the Chinese market is moving. And one critical key for success for us is going to be that we are keeping pace.
Do you see any potential for exports in the coming years?
I believe this is a product which is relevant globally, and that's what I mean, that it's a product in China for China, but also very importantly in China for the world.
In recent years, we've seen price competition among EV makers. How do you view this trend? How are you reacting to that?
It always has to be a balance between the value that you deliver and what is the price that goes hand in hand with it. And I believe that's where we strike a pretty decent balance. And as the technology becomes more competitive, as the technology advances, of course, we will make sure that we are also competitive in the market. I believe only focusing on the price is not the right approach.
What does China mean to your global business?
I believe one of the biggest indicators of our commitment to the market and understanding how being close to the Chinese market is necessary for future. Our president of our passenger car business unit is a Chinese national, and he's steering the global passenger car business from China. So that on the one hand showcases how we are committed to this market and understand the importance. On the other hand, we are also investing in our R&D center. There is the innovation for most of the electric components is actually happening in China with local teams also continuing in the future. Just looking at how important digitalization is becoming in the automotive industry, we will also use China as our future digital hub. And the exact percentages will only continue to grow.
Do you find it currently easy to work with Chinese EV makers?
It's a very positive experience to work with Chinese EV players. I think we like to be challenged, and of course they challenge us with speed. They challenge us with thinking 2 steps ahead. And I believe that is an extremely positive thing. That's what we stand for.
Are you planning for more investment in China in the future?
Absolutely. We are continuing to build, especially around R&D and innovation. This is where the future is for us quite clearly, and we will continue to invest in China for that. So we have also invested in the last years in the new energy vehicle innovation center in China, with a large team in China, because I think there's no denying the fact that the future of mobility, the future of electrification, smartification is in China. We already see that around us.
While Chinese clients currently make up 30% of the firm's vending unit business, it anticipates that local car makers would take up more market demand than their foreign counterparts in the future.